We are all familiar with our little setting of area system and function and function index. And you can see that Oslo has been rather picky and meticulous about assigning an area function. See it right there on elements that, together with index number and database values, yields the reference designation for the elements. But what we need is a way to number the elements in a rather specific sequence also. And for that, I have been creating for Düsseldorf old times this under attributes again, the indexing. And the first one is the lower one here is just to create indexing by clicking. And it says if you want some prefix, you can put that in front of it. If you have a just did the same, and I just did the I said if you want to override and if you do a different increment, and you can click here, and it says this is 1, 2. Oh, sorry, why? Oh yeah, I said I don't want to override. I said so it didn't write on this particular element. I'm going to go back so you can all see it. This one actually has the number 1 in it, and clicking here, it says I don't want to override. So when I clicked on that one, I ignored it. I didn't want to do anything with it. And I'm still saying that the first one is number 1, and I have an increment of 1. Naturally, clicking on this doesn't change anything, so number 1 is still number 1. I'm going to try if this works. See, like this, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on and so on. You can just click on anything you want here. But there is also another way, which is by using, let's just skip the lower one and the first start here, the upper one. Indexing by selecting a group of elements that should be handled. And it features some sort of choice for a start number. If you have an element that has the value 001, it's the starting point, period. That's it, always it. If you write start xxx, it starts at that point and continues from there on. And the increment is not 3, it's always 1. That's just how it is currently. But I'm going to try to see if I now choose this element to see what happens. It zoomed extends because it doesn't work if it doesn't. So we just need to remember where we started. But you can see here now it says this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. And I found yesterday that when I was testing this, I found some interesting thing. The first thing I want to do here is I want to isolate the objects which has the starting point 1. So I go into the attributes, this one, index. I'm just going to choose everything that has the 0. Sorry, I'm going to choose everything first, move it 500,000. And then I'm going to choose everything that has 001 and move those 500,000. So these are all items which have area function number 1. And all these elements do have the area function index attribute. Over here, we have some leftovers which do not have those indexing numbers. So again, this is just visualizing the usefulness of the isolator. I'm going to clean all items on this lower one here with the values of area indexes. I'm just going to move those back. So what I have here right now is a drawing where I only have stated where is my starting points. See if I can find the starting point. This one. Main transfer line 45 and 0 and number 1, for example. Down here, this one and number 1. So I'm going to go in here, indexing, choose this one, and it zoom extends. And it says 1, 2, 3, 4. And you do need to browse through because it might be an error. There might be an error in here. So you do need to count your way forward to make sure that it doesn't falter. Here was the last one. You can see number 10 down here and number 11 down here.
You're searching on the CP connectors here, Alan, would it work for elements that are not connected, also like I/O boxes or e-stop units, or how do you search through?
Well, no, I don't think it will work for items which are not connected. But on Düsseldorf, it did actually work for like RF scanners. And if I, at this point here, would recognize an RF scanner, it would not increment the number. It would get the same number as the element.
I get it, but
the RF scanner has the same issue. It has the same number as the one it's installed at. What was interesting when I was testing yesterday, you know, I just did like this, and I said all elements. And now it goes through the entire drawing, and it just numbers them, which is because I don't want to change the original project actually, so I'm just going to go back for that. There we have it. I'm going to choose these elements. So now it actually tries to number the entirety of those elements in here. And then I click on this one. It says, well, it's number 18, the last one on the blue line here of that copy of that up here. So hopefully that one is also 18, or something is wrong. And that is 19, which naturally made me a bit queasy. So what I did was actually I took this attribute from array function, and I said, give me, please isolate on array function this particular value. Move them out. You can see here it says 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah downstream. And then I'll take the original Oslo layout on, say, unmetaled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. So at a certain, of course, they have been doing it continuously at a certain point, but an element has dropped out of the layout at a certain point. So here, there's no number 8. That has evaporated, but they don't want to change the entire numbering system. And naturally, then they would wound up with the numbering system ending at 19. Since this is not 8, this is 9. So if I were now to write here, start 9, and I'm just gonna use this one indexing again. Let's see what it wound up here. No, it doesn't. In Düsseldorf, you were able to write the start number and then it continued from there. That has apparently also gone AY in the multiple versions. I will make that update actually. But you were able to write start whatever number and then it would continue from here. If you said, I'll go here in a second. Start 10.
But it's your experience that it's faster to do that, an error search,
yes,
than just to index.
It's very much faster. Oh, I don't know what happens here. Oh, actually here it worked. So you can see I deleted the start and then it continued from 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And this is, when this works apparently, when you're coming from a different drawing, you might not have number 1 at the first position, but you do actually want to continue from a particular number. So you would just write the number with a start in front of it, and then it should continue from there. Oh, actually, I do know why it broke up here. That was not a mistake. So this one was what is 9 they had. The problem here is it goes from 1. Again, I find number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm overwriting the values. So when I get to this one, I find this one. There's no doubt about me finding that particular element. If I break the chain, I'll just show you. I'm just going to do this so that they no longer snap. Use these elements. See here, you have 6, 7, and now it's 9, 10, 11. So naturally, if you have a chain, and the chain is the area function, that is the code. If that chain starts here, it continues till that particular code of area function has ended. And it's overriding whatever it says in the downstream attributes, unless you do something actively to break the link between the elements, either changing the area function or aparting the elements. And then at the end of the day, naturally, things back together.
Does this work also for possible MD?
Yes. And my recommendation is to just wait for this one to move back. You can always manually type your attributes naturally. I have nothing against people doing that. You are welcome. But the first thing you can do is isolate the ones where you start. It's quite simple, and press 001 and use this one. And hopefully it will do it correctly by visual check. If there's something wrong on the line, which I'm sure there is, you simply go in and do the manual function on that particular, those particular ones that are faulty. And you can number your entire layout in a day or something, maximum, even if it's the biggest airport we have.